Hey guys, how you doing? So good to connect with you. For those of you who are watching this video, again, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Just give me feedback. I'd love it. I'd love to hear from you guys. I just wanted to talk about, just food and what that really means and how much we've lost connection with that. So, let's first talk about food's purpose. Really, let's think about that. The purpose of food is to sustain and nourish our physical organism. That's it. Sustain and nourish our physical organism, and to do so in the best way possible. Certain foods, particularly meat, dairy products, eggs, these foods do not sustain and nourish our physical organism. In fact, they do the opposite. They degrade the physical organism. You see, these foods, these animal products, meat, dairy, eggs, all those kinds of things, they leave behind, when we ingest them, so when we eat them, they leave behind a lot of waste, acid waste, because these things are very foreign to the body and they have no purpose being there. So they leave a lot of acid residue, a lot of acid waste, a lot of toxins. These foods will eventually lead to an over-acid condition or an over-toxic condition, one in which the toxic load just gets so high that the body can't eliminate it, it can't handle it. So it starts building up in the tissues, in the joints, in the lymphatic system, in the organs. And this is where things like cancer originate, is when we have this toxic buildup that we cannot eliminate. Now, particular cancers are just the organs or the systems of the body that were genetically weak, that were most susceptible to that acid damage. Because once your system gets very backed up, you have this giant sewer system called the lymphatic system, okay? The lymphatic system. This is a system that where your cells, when they ingest food, nutrients, they excrete the waste. And this all gets dumped into the lymphatic system. But when you are eating a diet that's so high in waste and acid residues, this lymphatic system really starts backing up. And when it really starts backing up, now the sewer system is flooded. So now it starts backing up in your house. And what do I mean by that? The interstitial fluids. What are interstitial fluids? The fluids that surround all of the cells of the body. So once the lymphatic system is full, once that's completely backed up, now this waste matter starts creeping into the interstitial fluid that surround your cells, okay? Let's say you have a very genetically weak liver. Well, the liver is going to be the one that's going to take the hardest hit, and it's going to start degenerating the fastest because your body is so backed up with acid, and now the liver is getting damaged because it was genetically very susceptible to that, because they are weaker cells from past family members and whatnot. So now that liver is going to take that damage, and then eventually you get what's called liver cancer, which is just, again, disease doesn't exist. All it is it's just the root cause was just the system's backed up. The system's backed up and your body can't eliminate it. You know? And another thing is too, when you're eating a diet really high in meat, that's really tough on the kidneys, and the kidneys are just crucial for our elimination. If you've got kidneys that are not working properly, you're not going to be able to eliminate. And again, when you're not able to eliminate, lymphatic system starts backing up, interstitial fluids start backing up, and then the cells that are genetically the weakest, the organs that are genetically the weakest, tissues, that takes the brunt of the damage because they're so genetically weak, they can't handle that. And that's where the disease originates. Again, there's no such thing as disease. It's just the result of a backed up system damaging genetically weak cells, if that makes sense. So you see, there's really no mystery. It's not like this stuff attacks you from the outside. No, it's all the stuff you've been eating, all the stuff you've been accumulating over the years. And it's not just food, it's chemicals, things you put on your skin, the air you breathe, thoughts you think, all that stuff just creating this negative acidity. All this stuff just starts backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up. You know, cooked processed foods, all this type of thing. So that's what happens. Your system just gets backed up, and then the cells that are genetically the weakest get diagnosed with a disease. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. That's all it is. See, it's very simple. This medical industry loves to complicate it. And they love to treat. This blows my mind. They love to treat cancer, which is an overacid condition, with more acids, chemotherapy, acids that are 2.0 on the pH scale. Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. It just blows my mind, man. I mean, you're gonna try to treat someone who has an extremely acidic system, an overacid system, by dumping more acids into their body to try to kill off the bad cells. Jeez, I mean, if you've been watching this video and you have an open mind, you may start to realize just how crazy these people are. And honestly, I don't even think it's the doctor's fault. They were just trained, they're just kind of doing what was told. It's the medical industry, which is more of the globalist agenda, right? To enslave us, trap us, and kill us off, right? It's the globalists, it's the Illuminati, it's the Satanists who are behind all of this deception. Satan himself. You think Satan wants you to get well? You think Satan wants you to live a happy, free, joyous life? No. Satan wants you to live a life of slavery and sickness. What better way to do that than by promoting a diet of meat for protein, dairy for calcium, and eggs for, I don't know. What better way to do that than to promote poison as health food? And he's so sinister because it's not like this poison immediately affects you. All it does kind of make you feel shitty if you're new to it, but eventually you just adapt to it and you don't really notice it. And it's very stimulating, so it tastes amazing because you load it with barbecue sauce and all this crap. It tastes really good. It's a stimulant in itself because meat is very toxic, has adrenaline. It's a stimulant in itself. So it stimulates your body and you don't really know it's bad for you because you don't feel it the next day because you've been conditioned to it, but it slowly builds up in your system over time, just decaying, just degrading, acidifying the system slowly. That's what it does. That's what he does. That's what his agenda is. And unfortunately, certain people follow him, and they're the ones up top. They're the global elite. They want to control us. A big way they do that is through the medical industry. I want to come here to end that. If I could just get one person to watch this video all the way through with an open mind, guaranteed they'll start to realize what's going on and how ridiculous it all is, man. I mean, I just can't even believe it. Like, it's honestly just so sad. And, you know, I had a mom who died from cancer, and she just had no idea, man. I had an uncle who died from the same thing. He had no idea. I've had friends, family members, you know. And the tragic thing is that they just simply didn't know what they were doing. And they just didn't know. They didn't know, man. They didn't understand. They didn't have any knowledge of what they were really doing to themselves, because they were told it was good for them. They were told it would make them strong. They were told it was health food. They were told it was a healthy diet, and they didn't even question it. They didn't even think about it, man. They were just deceived. And it's criminal. It's truly criminal. These people should be thrown in jail. It's just absolutely criminal. These people don't deserve the life they've been given because they've thrown it away to the devil, but they'll burn in a lake of fire unless they repent. That doesn't matter. Well, okay. Enough of the talk about all those problems. Let's talk about the solution. Let's talk about the solution here, guys. I love coming out here. It's beautiful. Now, here's the solution, okay? So, you've got an over-acid system, okay? You've got a system that's been overly filled with acids, poisons, wastes, okay? Now, the solution is to just get rid of those acids. Just get rid of the acids. Don't dump more acids into the system to try to kill off the cancer cells. I can't even believe it, man. But here's the way to do it. You need to drain all those acidic, backed up fluids. You need to dissolve all the mucus, and I didn't mention this, but cooked food and processed food leaves behind a lot of mucus because it's foreign matter, and mucus traps foreign matter. So that's another thing too, but all the same concept. Your body's just backed up with acids, mucus, toxins. You need to drain all of this out. How do you drain things out? How do you clean something out? How do you do this? Fluids. A water fast really is the best, but that's extremely aggressive, and not many people are really built up to that level, and so many people are just so toxic to begin with that water fasting is too aggressive and it can honestly kill them. Now, I'm not saying water fasting will kill you, it's the fact that you're just so toxically backed up that it could, but it honestly probably wouldn't, but there's just a risk. What's the next best thing? Juice fasting, or juice feasting as I love to call it. Drinking fresh, pure, organic fruit and vegetable juices to drain, neutralize, flush, energize, just rid the body of all the wastes that are plaguing it, rejuvenate the organs, and come back to life. Because once the acids are drained, the fluids you are taking in through the juices are very alkaline. They're very alkaline, which is the opposite of acid. You want your body to run in an alkaline state for optimum performance, health, all this stuff. Your body needs to run in an alkaline state, okay? So, now that you're taking in all these alkaline fluids and the acid's been flushed out because of those alkaline fluids, the alkaline fluids flush out the acids, flush out the mucus, dissolve the mucus, get the kidneys filtering because you're just flushing all these good fruit astringents, all this good stuff just running through your system. You're just washing out the internal system with fruits and vegetable juices, okay? Now that that's all out of you, you've got all this alkaline fluid coming in. Now you're in an alkaline environment. Now your system's starting to become alkaline. Now those interstitial fluids that were really backed up and acidic, now they're becoming alkaline, which is what you want. And when your cells are in an alkaline environment, then the organs, the tissues, the cells, they begin to regenerate because they're in an alkaline environment, which supports the health of the cell. So now the cells begin to regenerate, the tissues come online, the organs come online, you're activated, you're awake, you're alive, all the acid has been drained out, you're so alive and well. All disease is acidity, it's toxemia. There's just too much stuff that does not belong in the body and it's not able to get out. That's all disease is. It's just a backup, it's an overload of toxicity. And you need to do something about it or else it will kill you. That's why cancer knocks on the door saying, hello, we need to change something. We need to get this acid out. Simple. So simple. You just need to get the crap out of the body. And do it with fresh fruit and vegetable juices. Just start doing this. Buy a juicer. Just buy a juicer, okay? Buy a juicer. Juice some oranges, juice some watermelon, juice a cucumber, a few apples, some kale, lemon, and a little ginger. Drink it right away, fresh juice. Do nothing but juice for days, weeks, months even, until you get well. You need to drain out the acids, drain out the toxins, dissolve the mucus, become alive so you can breathe again. You want your cells to breathe in this alkaline environment, so you have to take care of that acid condition. That's it, guys. All you have to do is clean the internal system with fluids. That's it. Alkaline fluids.